Sometimes the intrigue of a location is defined not by what's at it, but by what's near it. And courtesy of @OutlawRayhan over on Twitter, I have recently learned of one such example. That is, of course, Huron Glen, a small shack that rests on the outskirts of Butcher Creek, which is located west of Van Horn Trading Post for those who do not know. And yes, that is a legendary beaver. Fear the beaver. There's not much interest to the shack here itself. It is accessible. There is a cigarette card on top of the well outside, so that's a pretty cool incentive to come here in itself, I suppose. There is evidence that this place is currently occupied by somebody at the very least, and for all intents and purposes this shack is a part of Butcher Creek, a strange little town near Van Horn Trading Post with an arsenic poisoning problem and a lot of goats that are just very angry, so ignore them. However, I'm not much interested in the house itself here. Though lived in, it's quite clearly not well looked after, and the person who lives here is probably a trapper or something, or a hunter. No, my interest lies in something that you can find very close by. As just a short distance south of this shack, you can find a very grisly scene. An abandoned carriage out here with luggage all over the place, ranging from bits of clothing to tins of food, and while the driver and any potential passengers are nowhere to be seen, we can still find the horses, seemingly mauled to death by an animal of some kind. Considering the positioning of the horses, it would appear as if whatever killed them got in between them and pushed them away from one another, and then took chunks out of both but didn't eat them. It appears as if our culprit could very well be a big cat of some capacity. Cats are sometimes known to kill for fun, so it does make sense as to why a big cat might walk away without eating the horses. Quite a peculiar finding for legendary beaver territory, don't you think? As you can see, the driver has left behind the luggage from the carriage, meaning that the driver likely escaped, or the driver's body could very possibly be nearby. And while I couldn't find any dead people nearby, I did remember that this was also Murphy Brood territory, so just because the driver is not here doesn't mean that the driver escaped. But perhaps the most unsettling and terrifying thing that you'll take away from this grisly scene is the fact that when we arrived, it happened very recently. There are no signs of decay on the horses, and the blood that's been drawn from them still looks relatively fresh, so I'd say at the very most this probably happened a few days before we got here. Apparently due west of this abandoned wagon you can find a lockbox with jewellery and money in it. Could this lockbox possibly be some of the luggage from this wagon? But more importantly, what do you think happened to these horses? What do you think killed them? Where do you think the driver has gone, and what do you think happened to him or her? And of course, that is what fascinates me about the location known as Huron Glen. And so that concludes today's video. Thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, that'll be super appreciated. And I will of course see you all very soon with another video at some point.